In this lesson, we're going to look at decision structures. So with this type of structure, the program is testing if something is true or false. So if we take a look at this little bit of code here, we're assigning a string log to the variable pet, and we're testing if that is true or false in this little part here beside the if keyword. So if this is true, this line here will get executed. If this part is false, the program will go down to line 8 and continue down the page. Notice if we want inside the if statement, we need the statements indented with that indentation for every single statement we want inside the if clause, and we also need the colon there in that position. So this part here I've highlighted is called the condition, and this line here is called the statement inside the if. So let's run this bit of code. So we've got it is a log. So I've assigned log to pet, and it's checked whether pet is equal to log. Yes, it is, that's true. So this line here got executed. Let's change this to dog. Run the code again, and we can see nothing got executed because this is now evaluated to false, because the dog pet is equal to dog, not log. So the program went down and saw that was false, so it's jumped that whole if block and gone down to line 8 and continued down the page. In this particular case, there's no code to execute down the page because we've commented everything out. Let's comment out that block and go down to the next one. In this one here, this block of code here, we've assigned the number 3 to the variable called number, and we're checking if this part here is true or false. If the number is greater than 2, which in this particular case it is, these two lines here will get executed. So line 13 and line 14 will get executed. Firstly, it'll take that number 3 and add 1 to it. Do the right hand side first. Then it'll assign that number, which is going to be 4, to the left hand side, number 2 variable, and then it'll print this string and that number 2 there. So let's run this code and see what happens. Number is greater than 2 and it is 4. So this part here is evaluated to true because 3 is greater than 2. So it's taken that 3 and added 1 to get 4, and then passed it down into the second line here and printed that out. Let's change this number to 1. Now, once again, it'll check if this part here is true or false. Is the number greater than 2? Well, in this particular case, it is false because 1 is actually less than 2. It's not greater than 2. So these two lines should not get executed, and the program should go down to line 15. So let's see what happens. We can see we've executed and nothing's happened, just like we expected. It's gone down to line 15. Once again, we need that colon there, and anything inside the if statement, we need that indented. Okay, let's comment out this one and go to the next one. Just before we move on, there is more than just the greater than sign. We've got the less than sign, we've got the greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, the equality, which we used up here, testing if something is equal to something else, and the opposite of this one is not equal to, this one here. This one here, we've just got a keyword here, false. So we can see if false, the statement is here. So this will never get executed because we have a false. So the program will just skip this code block and go to line 20. Let's test it. And we can see nothing happened as expected. If we change this to true, that means this is always going to be true because we've told it to be true. It means this statement inside the if block will get executed always. So let's run it, and we can see that line got executed there. Okay, let's comment out this one and go to the next one. In this code block we have an if-else statement. So we've added this keyword else into the if block. All this does is if this if statement or condition evaluates to false, the else clause will always get executed no matter what. If this is evaluates to true, the statement within that if section will get executed and the program will jump to line 29. But if this is false, the program will jump to the else clause and execute anything inside the else clause there, which in this particular case is a single statement, this one here. So we've assigned the character A to the variable letter. So this part here will evaluate to false. So we expect the program to jump to this section here and execute this print statement there. Let's see what happens. And we can see this line here got executed because this part here was false. So the program jumped to the else. Let's make this A. So now this part here will evaluate to true. And we can see letter is A. This line here got executed because this part here is true. Okay, let's jump to the next one. Finally, we have the if, else clause or statement code block. So we've added a else if or ELIF statement. So the same thing applies here. It tests each condition or each line there will test if it's true or false. So this will test if that's true or false. This will be tested if it's true or false. This here will be tested if it's true or false. And if everything else above is false, the else clause will always get executed. So if this one is true, the statement within this if clause will get executed, which is this one here. Then the program will jump outside this block down to line 42 in this case. If this one is true, if this one is false, but this one is true, this statement here will get executed, and then the program will jump outside this code block all the way down to 42 and continue down the page executing this line here, which is outside the code block, the if, else code block. So in this particular case we've set the string pi to the variable fruit. So this will be false, this will be false, this will be false. So the only thing that will get executed is the else clause, which is this statement here, and then this one after. So let's run the program. And we can see nothing applies, I'm done. So it's executed this one here and then this one here. Let's change the assignment here to make this one true. So let's change that to orange. This time this one will be true, so this we expect this statement here to get executed. And there we go, it's an orange, got executed. Then outside the if, else block, the final line here got executed. Let's make this one be true. So we have to make it banana. It's a banana, I'm done. So this is false, but this is now true. So this statement here, or line 39, got executed, and then it jumped outside the block and went down to 42, then 43 and executed, I'm done. Okay, that completes the lesson on using these types of structures to test if something is true or false.